I've seen so many workplaces where there's that one person that just makes everything toxic, right? And like you said, with
Mhm.
a lot of these teams, as soon as the one person leaves, like the team comes together, right?
Yep.
But it's that choice of it's making that decision, that tough decision to again hold that person accountable. So in
Yeah.
this case, like Ted had told him at practice, look, or at training, like you have to make the extra pass.
Yeah.
And and then he chose not to. And when he made the second goal, you see Ted just looking at the field and like the team looks dejected, right? They
Yep.
look completely
Yep.
like they're all just like staring at him and they just look so down. And it's in that moment that he makes that decision like, all right, we got to change things. And so and that's where like in the monologue he talks a lot about courage. Like change does take a lot of courage,
Yeah.
and and so in that, like he's one of those leaders that has the courage to say, all right, look, I'm going to make a choice that nobody's going to agree with, and nobody does, right? Like in the pub they're all yelling at him,
Yep.
in the stadium they're all yelling at him. But I love that when he comes back down and makes the change, Beard looks at him and he goes, okay,
Okay.
like
Like we're in it.
yeah,
Like this is the ride. Now we're
yeah.
in it.
Yeah. And then, and I think the other part, so the believe sign for me was really powerful too, because there's no words. He says, I just, I have one last thing to say. I want all eyes on me. And then he slaps the sign. But I think there's a message there too about, it's believing in him for sure, but also like believing in themselves, right? That
Mhm.
they don't need Jamie. Like they can do this. They have it within themselves to do it. And to your point, like at the end of that, when Roy does choose to make the extra pass, it's like he's putting, he wants that collective win as much as Ted does. He doesn't need to be like the star player or anything like that. Like for him, it's about team before
Mhm.
individual. Whereas with Jamie, it was always like the fact that he's on the field like yelling me, exactly.